Hey team, Dr. Jack Gordy here, and in the next few videos, I'm going to be covering the topic aging. Now, you might think aging isn't that interesting, but trust me, when I talk about the evolution and the molecular processes that go into aging, you're going to realize it's one of the most amazing topics to cover. But even cooler is I get to cover my favorite paper of all time. Now, I use the favorite word a lot, but trust me when I tell you, this is my favorite paper of all time. So let's start with the obvious question. What is aging? Because biology actually has a bit of a niche definition of this word. Biologically speaking, aging is the loss of function as you age, as you get older. So we can see that this guy has gone through the aging process because he's not functioning at full capacity. He requires a walker. He's stooped over, so obviously he's lost mobility, he's fragile, he's lost his balance. This loss of function is the aging process. Now that differs from development. Here's my little boy. Oh, I love this guy. This is little Charles, and this is him developing over the space of 8 weeks. Look how big he got in 8 weeks. And we can see there's lots of development there. He starts off as a bit of a blob, and now he becomes a smiling baby that can focus his eyes and recognize me. So that was awesome. So this is development because this is the gain of function, right? Now, development is the biological processes in which we develop, change, and gain function or shift function. We don't lose it, right? And those are a specific group of biological processes, and aging is a specific other group of biological processes in which we lose functionality. So they're two distinct things, right? This is not aging, this is development. But here's an interesting question. Can we age as we develop? Now, to answer that question, I'm going to do a little exercise here. If this works. Hello. Oh, okay, cool. Here we go. I've got to just turn on some sounds for a second. So I'm going to play a sound, and these sounds are going to be increasing in frequency. And what I want you to think about is, when can't you hear the next sound that occurs? Okay, so here we go. Wait for it. Hey. Oh, nuts. Okay, here we go. I can hear that. I can hear that. I can just hear that. I can't hear that. I can't hear that either. Okay, so what we just went through there was what we just went through there was we were hearing higher and higher frequencies, right? Now, what actually happens at a rather young age, in your late teens, early 20s, you actually start to lose the ability to hear those high frequencies. And that's because the hair cells in your ears are dying off that can hear those frequencies. And so your upper threshold of frequency actually drops starting in your late teenagehood and continues throughout the rest of your life. But here's the thing, if you're a teenager, you're still developing, you're still growing, you're still sexually developing, hair where there was no hair before, right? So you're still developing. I mean, there are certain parts of the biological process that continue to develop up into 35, even 40. Lung capacity and function, for example, increases up to the age of 35. I'm 35, so pretty much means it's downhill from here for me. That's the last thing that was improving. Everything else is now on the way down. So what that means is that late teenagers are developing in that their body isn't changing, they're gaining function, but also they're aging because they are losing function. They're losing that high frequency things. So they're separate biological processes that can overlap. Okay, cool. Right. So here's the next question. How old are your tissues? And I'm going to cover that in the next video, and that is going to be my favorite paper.